So I saw this movie a few days ago and I decided to let it sit for a few days and just think about it because I didn't do that for A Million Ways to Die in the West, and I feel like I should make another video on that movie because my thoughts have changed on it, but I have full conclusions on this movie and I am completely happy with the way I'm going to rate it now. So let's get to it. 22 Jump Street is the sequel to 21 Jump Street, and it follows Janko and Schmidt, and they are now in college instead of high school, and they go on a lot of similar adventures compared to the first one. There's another drug that's going around and they have to infiltrate college and figure out who's supplying it and how to stop it from getting out to the entire world. Going into 22 Jump Street, I was excited because I really loved the first movie. It was a surprise, and it was one of the funniest movies of that year, so I was really excited to see this, even though comedy sequels generally aren't that great, and they sometimes just kind of copy what the first one does and do it again with a few different jokes. But I had hope, and I honestly really enjoyed this movie. It's really funny, and I would say it's pretty much on par with the first movie. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill are still fantastic together. They have such great chemistry, and it's such a weird pairing too, and I think that's what makes it work so well, that you never would have really thought that Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill would have such good comedic chemistry together, but they're really funny together. There's some great scenes in the movie between the two. And they explored their relationship a little bit more in this, and they make jokes about it too, but how in this one they pretty much do everything together, and they kind of explore how that could be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. So that was enjoyable. Ice Cube has a slightly larger part than he did in the first movie, and he was still hilarious. He just, he's so angry in these movies, and it works really well when they go and talk to him. And there's a few other smaller roles for certain people, and there's some cameos that you'll see. And like I said before, the thing that worried me about this movie was that it would just go down the same route and do the same exact thing over again, and just, it would be not funny. And this movie, it does a lot of the same things that the first movie does. However, the way it does it is what makes it great, because it is very self-aware. Like, the first movie had some great self-aware humor, especially from Nick Offerman's character, and he's back in this movie too, by the way, and he's hilarious, and he has more of that type of humor. And throughout the entire movie too, there's a lot of self-aware humor, and it pokes fun at kind of action movies and the cliches that go along with that. And if you pay attention to some of the dialogue earlier on in this movie, you'll be able to figure out everything that happens by the end, because they kind of just say it out loud, well, is that gonna happen? And it probably does in the movie, so it's really funny, at least to me. I like seeing when movies can actually poke fun at, like, genre cliches, and they did that really well in this movie. And it's not just, like, poking fun at cliches and being self-aware. There's more comedy to it. There's some physical gags, of course, and there's some really funny jokes. I will say there was one joke that I'm remembering specifically that went on too long. There was one gag. You saw it in the trailer. It's when Jonah Hill and that girl are kind of fighting and sort of not really kissing, and it was just, it went on for too long in the movie, and it became just not funny after a while. And the end credits are the funniest part of this movie, and when I usually say that, I'm saying it about a really shitty movie that just has a gag reel at the end, and the gag reel's actually funny even though the movie sucks. But this movie is really funny, but just the end credits, there's something that they do. It's not a gag reel, but it's just, it's hilarious, and there's some cameos in there too, and it was just fantastic. Definitely stay for that part of the movie. I also feel like that they might make a sequel to this. They probably can, and they probably will because of how much money this movie is going to make, but at the same time, the way the movie ends, it kind of makes it seem like there might not be a sequel at all because of the way it ends, and you'll know that when you see it. So, I mean, if this is the last one of the two, I mean, it was a good way to end it, and I guess it would be good that they would end it before it, you know, got really shitty, because that could easily happen. Overall, 22 Jump Street is a really funny movie. It furthers the characters. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum still have great chemistry together. Most of the jokes are great, and it's really funny and self-aware, so I'm gonna give it an A-. So what do you guys think of 22 Jump Street? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Did you enjoy this one more than 21 Jump Street? Like I said, I'm pretty much equal with the two. Write your beautiful comments down there and tell me what you think, and if you like this video, hit that subscribe button down there, because if you don't, I'll shoot you in the dick. And that's from the first movie, but you know what? It could happen.